Well, this is typical Trump policy chaos. Um, uh, first of all, I think we need to look at what Trump's actions are, not what his words are at the moment. And when it comes down to it, simply, Putin is the one in the wrong. Zelensky has agreed to a ceasefire, unconditional for 30 days. Putin has rejected that request. And then the question is, what's Trump going to do about it? Because him being, quote, off doesn't change Putin's calculus. He needs to actually do something. And I don't believe that he's going to do anything because he seems to be very much, sort of siding with Putin and not siding with Zelensky. I could be proven wrong, and I hope I am. But just saying he's off doesn't do anything. He started this whole process the day after he was inaugurated, saying that if Putin doesn't sort of end this war, there's going to be tariffs, taxes, and sanctions. And here we are, more than 2 months into this, and Trump hasn't done anything to Putin. And so I sit and I wait, but I'm not hopeful that Trump is going to get any tougher than he already is. I mean, if you look at the body language of the whole thing, Trump is not playing poker. He's playing tic-tac-toe. And the body language is very clear. He dislikes Zelensky and he likes Putin. And I think that we're sort of in a little bit of a game of what they call kabuki theater, where he's trying to show that he's being, quote, even-handed when he's not at all. The minerals deal, quote, minerals deal, because it's no longer involving just minerals on Ukraine, is something that the Ukrainians have no possibility of signing. They're basically converting $100 billion of U.S. military aid into effectively a loan debt, which didn't exist before. And the United States, according to this deal, wants to effectively suck out, all revenue and profits from every venture that exists in Ukraine. So I predict that Ukraine can't possibly sign this indecent proposal from the United States on the, quote, minerals deal. I predict that Trump will then claim that Ukraine is not playing by his set of rules. And then that gives him an excuse to basically wash his hands of Ukraine. That's sort of where this thing is going. Is Trump scared of Putin? I don't know. What I can say is that Trump, for whatever reason, and a reason that nobody can really clearly understand, is siding with Putin. Trump is siding with the aggressor against the victim. Why he's doing this, time will tell. But at the moment, we have a situation where the United States, which used to be the supporter of the victims of tyranny, is now siding with the perpetrators of the tyranny. The Saudi negotiations between the Americans and the Russians are what I call classic KGB rope-a-dope. Putin threw out a few terms, ceasefire, then couched it in a bunch of complicated conditions, talked about more discussions and negotiations, and nothing material was agreed to. And this is how Putin likes to operate. We've so far seen no indications that Trump is going to get tough on Russia. And the fact that he was off with Putin and then shortly after that talked about how angry he is at Zelensky for not wanting to sign the minerals deal is a perfect case in point. If Trump does do something like more sanctions or more military aid for Ukraine, I would gladly be proven wrong. But so far, we've seen nothing in that direction. And it appears very clearly that Trump favors Putin over Zelensky. This is typical Russian negotiating process. Just, enter into a negotiation, agree to nothing, but hang a carrot out at the end that everybody is so desperately trying to get their hands on. And in 6 months' time, Putin will continue. He'll absolutely be in Ukraine fighting away as he always has been. And while he was agreeing to all these temporary ceasefires on energy infrastructure, he was bombing energy infrastructure. It's totally insincere. There's no truth to it, and you can't rely on a word that Putin says. I would say that Donald Trump has the power to put Putin into line. The United States could triple down on military aid to Ukraine. They could remove all restrictions on Ukraine using that military aid to hit targets, military targets inside of Russia. The United States could, if they wanted to, make Russia selling oil impossible and destroying Putin's finances. So there is the ability to do that. It's just the question, is there the willingness to do that? And I don't believe that Trump has that willingness.